Hello and good evening. It's the last Tuesday of the month and it is mini quilts of the month. So the brand new one for February is the half square triangle delight. So I am hoping that I shall see some comments. So if you're there, I just think I had a notification. Let's see. Oh, we're live. Okay, one comment on my phone. I see. Let's just have a quick look. Evening. Oh, so we're going to be like that again. Let's just silent mode on. That's it. Oh, that's better. I've turned me off. So I can see you're commenting here, everybody. So let's just have a quick look. There's Maria, there's Jill and John. Hello, John. Hello, Moya and Julie and Alison and Liz. Look at those, Erica. I know. That's what I'm showing you as well. Wet and Morky in Lincolnshire, Sheena. Hello, and hello, Glynis, and hello, Sue. And hi, Lindsay and Christine. Lovely. Elaine, Janet's watching, Dorothy. Lots of you. That's jolly good. Hello, Sue. And hello, Caroline and Christine. So we've got the giveaway tonight. Hello, Leslie. And I've only just got it together. Hello, Mary. And hello, Linda. Yeah, sorry I'm not looking up, but I can only see the comments on my phone at the minute. But hello, Mary. Hello, Janet. Janet hopes we're all well. I'm okay at the moment. Yes. Hello, Beverly. Good evening to you. Yes, in the background. I just thought that's what I've been doing today. Hello, Anne. Hello, Heather. Oh, you got a poorly, John. Oh, no. Oh, let's send you love and hugs, John. Get better very soon. Hello, Lorraine. Hello, Leslie. Oh, an awful 2 weeks with you, Leslie. Oh, well, let's hope I cheer you up tonight. Hello, Janet, and hello, Kathleen. And Jules. Told me Jules was watching ages back. Hello, and hello, Wendy. And Vivian. Yeah. Oh, your new sewing machine, Vivian. Mine hasn't arrived yet. I haven't ordered it yet, that's why. I'm hanging on. Hello, Amanda. Hello, Elaine. So I've always got something exciting to look forward to at some point. Hello, Pat, and hello, Nicola. I can see Marian's watching. Oh, and there's Linda. Hello, Linda. Hello, Joy. Right, yes, so hello, Aurora. I'm going to watch my Aurora doing ballet on Saturday. That is why I can't have the open house this month until the following week. Hello, Sandra. Hello, Vanessa. Yes, it's going to be sewing club tomorrow, so anybody in the area. Sewing club 1 till 4, NN10 9LW. I know, Beverly, I try. Hello, Pamela. Lovely. What does that say? Bags. Oh, thank you. Hello, Carol. Still in Tenerife. Oh, you'll be home in time to make your pouches. Oh, miss it. I bet you are. I would be too. Hello, Carrie. Hello, Marion. Yes. True. That is very true, Jill. And I haven't even ordered it yet. Hello, Shirley and Bridget. You'll be there tomorrow. Lovely. Right, I better get started, really, because I've got a lot to do. So, yes, I have some new fabrics, and I thought I have a new supplier. These two are from my original one. So this one with dandelions on. This one is rather nice. I haven't quite finished it off. So it's got pins around here. I've just got to do these little bits. But I made all three today in a period of about 3 hours, 4 hours, because I've got to get them done. So it's the Erica bag. And nice fabric, I hope you like. And then this one here. Oh, this is my new supplier. So I have got a few more. Not the same. But they are cotton canvas. So they're a Panama, which is I usually have half Panama, but that's full Panama, so it's a little bit thicker. But it's called William, and I'm thinking when I've made it up, I rather like it myself, and I do believe I need to get some more before it sells out. So, oh, thank you, Jill. Hello, Barbara. Oh, we said Shirley. Yes, we've seen, yes. Okay, so there, I just thought I would show you those, and then I'll give you a sneaky peek of, on what day was it? I can't remember. Oh, what's Lindsay saying? Oh, thank you, Elaine. You miss watching your puppy? Yeah. Oh, yes, that would be lovely, Lindsay. Oh, and Sue loves watching it. I said, yes. Well, I don't see them that often, and I thought, you know, I've got to do it. And I thought it would be middle of the afternoon, but actually, I've got to leave the house about 10 o'clock to be there for 11, and she's got to be at the venue for midday, and I think the performance is at 1, and then we're going out for lunch after that. So, yes, Home Alone, Meg. So you set up the computer in the dining room along with your sewing machine. Fantastic. It is Shirley, just like Tapestry. And Wendy, I am on Create and Craft, hello Anne, on Thursday the 9th, so a week on Thursday, and I'm still getting my samples done. I've still got a few more to do, but here we are. So, tonight I will be showing you how to make this one. Still no comments coming up, never mind. So, this is the half square triangle delight. Now, I shall show you, if you haven't got your half square triangle rulers, how to do it differently as well. So you don't have to have half square triangle rulers, but as all of you that have had them or have got them, you will tell everybody how, and I know you will because it's true, it makes it so much easier to get your perfect half square triangles. So that's what we're doing tonight. You have seen this one, but I've quilted it. Can you see all that quilting? And there's a little demo. Don't think it's in the group. I think it's on the So Totally Trisha page. Might be in the inspiration group, So Trisha Sews. But there's a little demo of machine quilting whilst I was doing it. And on the back, it's rather nice. And that is all freehand. So don't look too closely because it's not all exactly the same. But on first sight, it does look as though I've done it, you know, in a, I don't know, with rulers or whatever, but it's all total free motion, just doing it with no markings, and that one's called Pinwheel. Now, these will be on Create and Craft on a week on Thursday, which is the 9th of March, 7 in the morning and then midday. So that's that one, and then I've called this one Floral 4 Patch, I think. So then there is this one. So you can see those little 4 patches, and then we've got some applique. So, oh, lovely. I'm glad you like. Sue, I used Aurifil thread on all of them. I was having a little word with Sue today, and I said how those 3 bags, I only used 1 bobbin, not the reel of thread, but 1 bobbin. Hi, Sue. And it's just the top bits which or the sides which I wasn't able to finish on 1 bobbin full of Aurifil thread. So little bit different. So you've got a 4 patch in the background and then a little bit of applique, and I think we did, yes, we did free motion there as well. So, and you can see all my using my techniques of putting your squares together. Oh, it's right up your street, is it, Glynis? Yeah. So it was just a little one. It's about, it is 12 by 12, I think. Hello, Angela. Oh, there's Jane there. Hello, Jane. Are you on a Thursday? Yes, I am. So because I sort of gave up my slot by going every other month, obviously they want Sunday to be the regulars, which I used to be, but you know, I have so much to do, and every time somebody says to me, I don't know how you fit it in, makes me think, and I think I don't know how I fit it in either, but I do. And there's come a point in time, and I think it was when I had my birthday and turned that magical number, not 66, but the one before. I just thought, you know, it's time to slow down a little bit. And the one thing, it's like cutting costs in a big company. The easiest way to cut costs is to sack the top man because he costs the most. And with me, the easiest thing to sack is, unfortunately, the TV. I shall still be doing it, but alternate months to give me that bit more time in between. Evening, Judith. Yes, and there's Janet. Hello, Janet. Yes. Yes, sell some of your card making stuff. Now I have got half square triangle rulers, and I'm calling them Easy HST. HST being half square triangle. So if you hear me say HST, you'll know what I mean. And half square triangle being, here's one that I'm going to demo tonight. So for those of you that perhaps haven't done any patchwork, this is a half square triangle. Basically, it is a square made up of two triangles, and as there's two, it's half a square triangle. So half square triangles. What I will be doing shortly is quarter square triangles, and you can imagine what they are. So they will be a square cut into 4 triangles, and so you'll have a different colour there and a different colour there. But this is a half square triangle. So if we can find an easy way of getting perfect ones, and the more accurate you are with all your patchwork, the better it fits together and the more pleasure you will get. However, to begin with, it won't all happen exactly as you want it. Some will be brilliant, some will be mediocre, and some might not be, oh my dear. But it is the journey. It is enjoying what you do, and it's the overall appearance. So don't, if you're a beginner to patchwork, don't go getting all, I was going to say het up, angsty about it. It is part of the journey, and the more you do, and you will become hooked, I'm telling you. The more you do, the more you will enjoy it, and the more, if you listen to all my little tips and the way I do things, it will come together just perfectly. In time, it will be wonderful, and you'll say, I can't believe I've made that. And I truly believe you can all do patchwork. But as I say, just if you do the things how I do, I'm not really a teacher. I'm not a qualified teacher. I haven't said that for a little while. But I show you how I do things, and more often than not, I'll find an easy way of doing it. And if I haven't got an easy way, I'll create a ruler that makes it easy as well. So I'm here to help. And yes, make sure that you enjoy your journey through patchwork and bag making and home decor and anything else. I've got a few things in mind which aren't patchwork, and we might use a little bit of glue, but they're going through my mind, and it's just finding the time. That's where things have got to give to be able to bring these other little bits in as well. And in the end, I shan't have any more free time than I thought I would have, but never mind. I'm enjoying what I do, and that is being with all of you. So shall we first of all do the giveaway? That might be the easiest thing to do, as there's a lot of you here. So it was a quick at 6:15 to 6:20, thinking, oh my goodness, I haven't got my bits together. So I had a little rummage, and what I've come up with, and it's still a big value bundle. So I didn't realise, but I had just one of these left. If you like a little bit of French General, we have a French General charm pack. Should retail around the £14 mark. So you've got a bit of French General. Okay, beautiful. We have got a layer cake too, usually around the £45 mark. I know I brought mine right down, and there's quite a few layer cakes on the website, www.sototallytrisha.net, at a reduced price, but this should be around the £45 mark. So you've got that, you got your charm pack, and then I have a little bundle. So these are Frenchy strips. They are 4 inches wide, whole width of fabric, all these delicious bright colours from the henna range, and you will find lots of things that you can do with those. So I think there's 10 strips in total there, and then I have 5-inch wide strips from the Flora and Fauna range. So we have, how can we do this one? We have that beautiful peony, we have a pinky butterfly, we have a background peachy pinky, oh, and a dandelion. I love my dandelions. We have a flying crane. Oh, and it won't come apart. There's the crane. There's the crane. Here it's coming. Oh, for goodness sake. There's the cranes. Are they sideways on? There's the beautiful, that's one of my favourites, the daisy, and then a peony with a navy background. So I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think there. Okay, so that is your giveaway for the month of February. And I'm going to pop that down there, and I'm going to get my little bundle. There are rather a lot. Doesn't look very many in there, but I tell you there are. And I am going to draw out, and I put all the new ladies in here. The last person who I hope is watching and is in the group now is Angela Duncan. Welcome, Angela, as the very last new member as of today. And I know there's some more joining up tomorrow as well. So tomorrow is the day when your monthly payments should all come in. I know there's been a few towards the end of this month as well, so I've marked those off, so you'll still be here tomorrow. So if you pay it not by standing order, but you just do an immediate payment, don't forget it's the 1st of March tomorrow. So here we go. I'm just trying to get one. I think I have one. I have one. I have one. And the name is, oh, it's Susan Fairhurst Blakey. So Susan, one of our annual members, which is lovely. Susan, if you would send your address to me, please, by email to Trisha Ablett, that's TRICIAABLETT @hotmail.com. That would be fantastic. And then I'll get your parcel in the post. So let's just see. Well done, Susan. Look at that. Yeah, but next month there will be another one too. So just shows what lovely people you are. I know somebody had joined, oh, what was her name? I can't remember now. Oh, she joined So Trisha Sews, and said somebody had recommended she joined because it was such a lovely group and the ladies were so welcoming. So how nice is that? And somebody did actually say Trisha only has lovely ladies in her groups. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. And you all are. So well done, Susan. Oh, I've popped it back in there now, haven't I? Never mind. I remember your name, and Lindsay will remember anyway. So Susan Fairhurst Blakey. It's a bit stupid of me to put it straight back in there, wasn't it? But yes, I did. Never mind. I know that it's gone back in. So you could actually win 2 months running. It would be quite a coincidence, but you could, because every month you are in the draw. So thank you everybody for being members, and well done, Susan. So we had best begin. Where is my quilt? Here we go. So let's just move that out of the way. Okay, so I think what I might do, oh no, this is what we are going to make. Now I have, apart from making those 3 bags, excuse me, Martin's nowhere to be seen, I did have to prepare this. Now this particular colourway will be on Create and Craft on Thursday the 9th, but I haven't got enough to do kits to be able to offer you. However, the colourway I'm doing it in tonight, which is a beautiful jade, and they're all batiks, I don't know if you noticed, which is a beautiful jade, that I will be putting kits if anybody would like a kit. On the TV they are $17.99, but to club members they will be, or not Create and Craft Club, but to Sew with Trisha members, they'll be £15. So I haven't put it on the website yet. You will have your pattern already. So what I should say to everybody, please make sure you have downloaded the PDF for this. It was there on early Sunday, so to give you 3 days to be able to download, print and save. If you email it to yourselves, save it somewhere, because when it goes, it may very well happen that the content of the PDF goes from your email as well. So please save it somewhere on your PC, laptop, etc., so that you have it ad infinitum. Right, so let's give it a go. So you'll have the instructions, and we work with 2 squares. And what we are going to do, we've got 1 square of that fabric and 1 square of that fabric. Now, in this group, if you look in the files, there is a chart which gives you lots of different sizes for making 8 half square triangles at a time. So what we're going to do, from these 2 squares, we are going to make 8 half square triangles. So there is 1. From these 2 pieces, we're going to make 8 of these, except it's going to be this colour and white. So 1 is a background fabric and 1 is a colour fabric. Now you could do this totally scrappy, because there's also a chart where you make 2 half square triangles at a time. And if you're doing a scrappy one, you may very well only want to have 2 of the same anyway, rather than 8 all the same. But for this particular project, 8 at a time works really well. As for the pinwheel one, that will work really well too. So this is how we start. So let's just put my mat out of the way and we'll work here. So going down onto the table, and I do need to get rid of, when I've been sewing, as you know, I like a lot of light, but when I'm working with yourselves, I have minimal. So what we have, we've basically got a dark square and a light square. So we're going to line those up, and the squares should be exactly the same size. Now it just shows when we are working with the half square triangle rulers and we're trimming down to the exact size, it doesn't actually matter if there's the most minute bit of fabric that isn't exactly the same, because we're going to trim those off. So first of all, we need a pen, which I have here, and I'm using a, what sort of thing am I using? I'm using a friction pen, which disappears with heat. So if you are using a friction pen, please, please, please don't iron your work as you're going, because it will hinder you in your cutting. Saying that, it won't be the end of the world. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just looking for all my squares. Oh no, that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see, I've got them all out here, and I've gone and missed one. Perhaps I've got it down here. Oh, I have. I've got it down here. I knew I'd put them somewhere. My voice sounds a bit croaky again. So I've got quite a few done. So I've got myself a long ruler, and although I use my own mini rulers a lot of the time, so like this one, which is our 5" by 8", which I shall use this shortly, but I'm going to use an even longer one because it won't quite stretch to the diagonal. So what we're going to do with this particular technique of making 8 at a time, I'm putting the ruler across the diagonal. Oh, there's Marilyn. Hello, Marilyn. I can see there's words, comments coming up, words. So we're going to one diagonal, but we're also going to do the other diagonal. So both diagonals, we want to mark a line exactly from corner point to corner point. So you can see both of those. And as I said, doesn't matter what pen. You could use a pencil, a chalk pen, a biro, because we're not going to see these at all. Right, so the first thing we're going to do, I would suggest pop a pin in these 2 layers just to hold them together. The other thing I should have said before this, and I didn't do it, but if when you put your 2 fabrics together, if you just give them a press, and even with a bit of steam, it does hold the 2 squares together and probably doesn't need to be pinned. Oh, that pin is rubbish. That's why it's poked out of the end. Okay, let's get a nice fine pin here. Right, but if you don't have, if you don't press it, it's best to put a pin out of the way. So we want to avoid going anywhere near these lines because we're going to stitch down those. So I'm just going to put this to the side for the moment, and we are going to do a 1/4 inch seam allowance on both sides of the line. Now you won't be able to see this very well because yet again I am using a light fabric, but when I come to cutting and doing other things, I will, whoops, that's a bit large, isn't it? I will turn to the other side so you can see it a lot better being on a dark fabric. So patchwork foot, 1/4 inch foot, so that it can either have a guide or no guide, or like I'm doing here, I've moved my needle position so it's on either 5.5, or if you want to do a scant 1/4 inch, then do it at 6. Neither will matter. I've taken to doing a scant seam purely because it gives a little bit more leeway when we're using the half square triangle ruler. So I'm just guiding the fabric down here. Whoops, let's take those there. So that I'm stitching a 1/4 inch away from that black line. Now I've just turned it round because I'm now going to come back down the other side of the line. So let's just make sure, push that pin out of the way because I think that was going to get in the way. Because if it was a flathead pin like the other one, it would have been fine. So I am just stitching down there and trim. So having, can we just see there? Having stitched both sides of that black line, I'm now going to stitch to this one here. I'm now going to stitch along both sides of the opposite diagonal line. So we'll just line that up carefully. I'm looking at the edge of my foot, being, I can just see the black line. So if you just keep the black line in view, you will know that you've got a straight and accurate 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way down. So I've now just swiveled it around so I can come back down the other side. So we'll start stitching. I am using Orifil thread, which is probably the reason you can't see it too well, because it sinks beautifully into the fabric. Okay, so there we have. Now if I turn it over, you'll be able to see how I've stitched. So right down the centre would have been my black lines, and I've stitched at a 1/4 inch to both sides of those diagonal lines. Now the first thing we're going to do is we are going to on the other side we have the black lines, so they're going to be cut lines. Now as they're drawn there, you've got no reason, if when we're doing the cutting, the squares or the pieces come apart, you won't have to put them back together again because you've got the lines here for cutting along. However, where we do need, so we're not going to cut those first of all. If you cut these on these lines first, you're going to have more difficulty in then cutting horizontally and vertically. So the very first thing you do when you're doing 8 at a time is to cut your vertical and horizontal. Okay, so to do this, I'm going to do it this way so that you can see easily, and I'm doing it on the dark side so that I can use my ruler here. So because I don't usually speak measurements, but because this particular one is 6 inches, I'm going to cut 3 inches across. So I'm going to get my ruler and, better do it like this, I'll line the 3-inch mark and I'll do it up just a little bit higher, the 3-inch mark, so I can see that there, with the edge of the square, and I'm going to cut vertically. Each time I'll cut vertically away from me because that's the safe way to do it. But I'm going to turn my mat for doing my second cut. So I've got the 3-inch marker down the raw edge, and then as a check, what should happen, let's just see if we can come in even further here. No, where's my seam ripper? Let's hope we don't need to see. Here we have the centre where these lines cross, and we should be cutting right through those stitches. So let's just see if I've got that perfectly. So it does. So when I cut, it's going to cut right across there, which will be perfect. Now, oh, they're all on here. There it is. So I am going to stand up because I find it easier to cut standing up. So I've got my 3-inch down that side. Hold your ruler firm, open the blade and cut. Now very carefully lift that up without moving this block. I've got the cut there. Then turn your mat around. If I turn it that way, oops, no, that's too close in now, wasn't it? So what I did, I forgot to turn it back. I got it lined up. I did my 3-inch, my cut, which was halfway across. Now I'm going to turn it that way, 90 degrees, so that I can now cut vertically again. I've got what looks like to you a horizontal cut. So I'm now going to line up that same, just to cut it in half. And also I'm looking at what we did before, those 2 squares in the middle, or those 2 where the lines intersect, and our cut should be going right through the middle, which it does. Okay, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and it doesn't matter that I've moved them because on the other side we have our lines to cut. And when we are cutting, you can use scissors or you can use a rotary cutter. And if you don't quite cut on that line, let's just do this there. If you don't cut exactly on the line, it doesn't matter. Like here. If you cut slightly over, if it's wobbly, it doesn't matter. Because when we come to use our half square triangle ruler, or other, or not, as the case may be, we are working with the stitch line, not the edge of the fabric. So, what we're going to do, I'm going to cut one and open one, but I'm just going to use my rotary cutter and cut roughly on that line. I'm going to use a pair of scissors because that's just as easy too, like so, and I'll use my scissors again. Now I'm going to keep these ones aside. Okay, now in fact I'm going to work with this one first, so I'll put those away. So these 2, if you haven't got a half square triangle ruler, this is how we are going to work with this. So I'm just going to plug in my handy little iron, and what we will need to do, so this is without a half square triangle ruler. If you don't know what a half square triangle ruler is, it is one of these. You can see that there. So it's triangular in shape, and it's got markings on it. It's got dashed lines. Let's just move those there. It's got dashed lines, and it has solid lines. Now, if you are cutting an accurate 1/4 inch seam, then your seam will line up with that, but that really doesn't matter. It's the dash line that we are using, and that is going to give us our perfect patchwork squares. So without one of those, what we're going to do is we're going to put our darks so that we can, make sure that our seams are being pressed to the dark side. Always have your dark fabric on the top, and then set the seam by pressing across the seam, and then if you push your iron into the middle, and at the same time just use your finger to push that out to the side, and it gives you a perfect square. So again, with the second one, set the seam and then push into the middle, and at the same time just open it with your finger there and press along it to the side, and that way you have got perfect squares. So normally what you would have done, if you didn't need to trim, you would have added 7/8 of an inch to the finished sides of a square. So if you wanted your squares to be 3 inches finished, stitched together, you'd have had to cut a 3 and 7 or 2 3 and 7/8 inch squares. Not everybody likes that measurement of 7/8. So what we've done here, we've cut them a little bit bigger. So for that we would cut at 4 inches, and then we would trim it back. So we've got our squares. They should be 2.5 inches square. However, they are a little bit bigger. Can you see how they're a little bit bigger? There's excess fabric on each side, so we need to trim them down. So if you are, where is my little ruler? It's just here. So if you are trimming down with a square, you will need a square ruler for doing this, and I need my cutting mat. So let's just bring this in. So, and we'll transfer our squares onto the board. So there we have our 2 squares. Now, also down the centre, diagonal centre of the ruler, is a 45-degree line. That 45-degree line needs to line up with the diagonal which divides the 2 squares. You'll also notice we've got these little dog ears. The half square triangle rulers, get rid of those as well. So let's just put that there to hold it down. So I'm going to line up that 45-degree line along the diagonal that joins the 2 triangles together. And I'm also looking at 2.5 inches, which is there. Just come in a little bit more. So here is the 2.5 inches. So there's the 2.5 inches. So there's a fair bit of excess, and this side a fair bit of excess, but I haven't quite covered it here. So I'm just going to drag the ruler down so that there's a little bit of extra fabric. There's a little bit extra there over 2.5, tiny bit at the top, a little bit here and a little bit here. So we will need 2 cuts for this, 2 sets of cuts. So now I've got it in the right place, I'm going to cut up this side and the top. So I stand up and trim that and trim that. Oh, that's not so easy, my machine's in the way. Right, and while the blade's open, just pull your fabric away. It saves you closing it and opening it up again. Okay, so I've done the 2 sides. Now we need to do these other 2 sides here. So what we'll do is swivel 180 degrees that around, and we know that side's been trimmed and that. So we're going to line the 2.5 marking with that left-hand edge and the bottom. And also, you see that red diagonal, we want it lined up on the diagonal line where the two colours meet. So I'm just going to pull that away. That's it, so I can shift it. So now that I've got that exactly lined up, and also the diagonal as well, I'm going to trim that side, and then I move my feet so I'm going away from me, pull it away, and there I have my perfect 2.5 inch square. So we'll do exactly the same again. We have one square here. I'm going to line that 45-degree line on the ruler with the distance between. I'm looking at 2.5. This one's slightly smaller or less excess, but I can see the 2.5, bit of excess fabric, bit of excess, tiny bit there and there. So put my fingers down on there and trim around, take that away, make sure it's cut, and make sure that's cut too. And then I will lift this, I'll turn this 180 degrees, like so. I know that's the cut edge and that, so I'm going to line up the 2.5 along the bottom and along the side, plus the diagonal line up the middle. Then I can trim away up the right, across the top, and there I have another. So I've got two of my perfect half square triangles. However, so that was working with a square ruler. If I have some half square triangle rulers, this is where we didn't cut these. So let's do these. Right, so we'll turn them all up to the dark side so that we can see a little bit more easily. So this time we don't press them before we trim. We leave them closed. We leave them as triangles, like so, and we trim first, then we open them up, then we press them. So for this particular triangle, we need the one which is the halves. You see these markings down here that tell you we'll do a 1.5, a 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5. We need the 2.5 one. So that dashed line across here with the 2.5, that is the line we are looking at. You can see these little slits here. We're going to put the rotary cutter into those slits, and we're going to trim off the dog ears at the same time. So I'm going to do 6 of them because that's the other 6 that are left. And I'm just going to pop that down. Let's just see if come in a little bit closer, not that way. Let's come this way. Oh, let's go this way. No, this way. Whoops. Can't find where I'm going now. Dum-de-dum, there. Okay, we need to go up there. That's a little bit too far. So that you can see. So, there is my... Oh, for goodness sake. That's it. There we go. There we go. I want you to see the ruler. So there is the ruler. And 2.5. There we are. So I'm looking at the 2.5 dashed line, and that's going over my stitch line. Okay. So I can move it across there, but I want to stop it where I've got excess fabric on both of those sides, which you can see there. So I've got my dash line on my stitch line, and then I'm going to hold it firmly down. I'm going to cut there. I move my feet, but you do have to come down to the side. Then I move my fingers away so that I can put the rotary cutter on the inside and push outwards. And then close the blade. Then you can pull this away, and you've got your that away. So we've done the first one. The second one, so we do the same thing again. We are going to, whoops, there we are. I'm going to put the ruler on here. So the dash line, there we go. I don't don't know what I am doing. I'm trying to get it further on the, a little bit close up. Whoops, oh, that's better. So I've got the dash line on the stitching, like so. Hold it firmly, trim that side, move your fingers in the middle so that you can go from the inside out. You can go from the outside in and it will stop, but I prefer to go from the inside to the outside. So there's our two. And you see we are trimming off the dog ears at the same time. So it's quite a pleasurable experience doing this. So I've got a bit of excess fabric on both sides. Cut, cut, slice off dog ears, and the other way too. So there's 3. Throw those little bits out of the way. And then there's number 4. Dash line on my stitching. I could move that across there so that, there we go, I can see there's excess fabric there. And each time we're doing this, we are getting a perfect, or we will have a perfect half square triangle. It's really, really, really quite satisfying. So if your stitch line that you have done is a little bit wobbly, just look at the outside stitching and I'm sure it will be absolutely fine. It can wobble a little in the middle sometimes, but it will still turn out as a perfect half square triangle. Obviously you try not to wobble it too much, so 2.5 and just move that to the left so that I've got excess on both sides, and then down there. And you can, I'm using a 28mm rotary cutter, but a 45mm absolutely fine. I probably wouldn't use the biggest one, the 60mm, because I think that will be a little bit too big to go in those slots. So now we have those 6. What we now want to do is press them open, and we do that similarly to the other way. Let's just take that back out. Similarly to when we did the ones that we'd already, that we did first of all, and then we trimmed. So this time you'll see those little angles there, means that we're going to have a square without dog ears. So again, set your seam. I'll put it this way so it's easier. So set your seam, lift the top, push to the middle, and then with your finger I push to the outside, and that way it stops a little pleat forming, because sometimes you can press in a little pleat along there and then your squares aren't going to fit together. They won't be exactly the right size. So that's it. I just, and then just across the seam and set it to the side, press the seam, set the seam into the middle, finger out that way, press the other direction as well. That is a bias edge along there, so you don't want to be backwards and forwards. So just press once into the middle, which pushes it open out to the side and to the other side. And again, set the seam, open it up, push to the middle, out to the side and out to the other side. And then the last one, set the seam, open up into the middle, push out, push out. So there we have all of our perfect half square triangles. So if you looked at them, 2.5 inches square, which is exactly what we want. 2.5 inches square, 2.5 inches square, and they're all exactly the same. Okay, so now to get them all stitched together. So how are we doing? 7:20, not bad at all. So now I have 6, 1, 2, let's just pull that back a little bit now, because we are going to lay these out. And how we're going to do, we're just going to mix them up. So I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 different. So in any of the kits, or what I asked you to, is to have 6 different fabrics. And we're going to mix them all up together. But you will have too many. You will have 48, and you only need, what do we need? 2, 4, 6, 36. So actually I could have got away with 5. But so what we'll do is start with the centre square. So I'm going to put 4 different ones into the centre. 1, 2, 3, and we'll perhaps put that one there as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. And perhaps we won't put that one. We will put, we've had that one. Might have that one. Oh no, that is the same as that one. You see, I'm being fussy now. Okay, so let's put that one there. And from there, from this side here, on both these sides, we want to have the triangles going out. So remember, they're squares, but we want to have like these. So I'm just going to put some different ones. We want them to be like arrowheads, like flying geese, pointing outwards. And actually I'm going to put those in different places. So we'll have that one going there, and we will have that one going there. So you can put them wherever you like, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then we want arrowheads going out of this one as well. So we will have this one there, and we will have that one there. We will have that one there, and because you've got the extras, it means that you will, oh, I've got 2 lots there, that's it. It means that you will have a choice. You will have a choice as to what you want to put where. So let's put this one, no, we can't put that one there because that's the same. So we'll have that one just there. Okay. And then we will have that one there. And what I'm going to do is put some smaller ones. Well, that looks the same as that, doesn't it? We'll have this one here. Okay. So you can see how this is working. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want one more at the top there. And I might put that one there. And this one here. Okay. And then we have got squares that fill in down here and down here. So what I thought I would do is put some, a little bit of symmetry, if you like, rather than totally random. So I'm now just going to put similar ones into these spaces here. What I should have done was had a big mat so that I could take it. Right, so I'm going to put those in there. Can you see how now I've got a little bit of symmetry with that? And each of the squares here are going to be pointing inwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I oh no, I haven't got one here, have I? Missed that one. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and what other one was that? There. So we'll put this one. Let's put that under there. Whoops, wrong way. Needs to be, there we are. So that one is going in there, and then these 2 are going here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that one goes there. That one goes there. And 1, 2. And that one goes there. That one goes just here. Let's just see if we can take that back even more. And then just these final corner ones here, which I think we could get away with having these same ones. Oh no, we won't. Let's go for a plain. We'll go for a plain one in the corner, like so. Okay, so they are all laid out how we're going to have them. So these are my blocks which I've got left over. I could do something else with those, or 12. Yeah, you could perhaps make it a little bit wider or longer if you want, but it wouldn't, the pattern wouldn't be the same then. So what we're going to do now, we're going to join this all in one go. So going up to this corner here, we're not going to, you could sew them all in a row, but what I'm going to do, because it is quite critical, the position of all of these, we are going to stitch in a row. So first of all, I'm going to put right sides together here, and then I'm going to move this one right sides together there, right sides together there. So I'm taking the second column and placing them right sides together on that first column, like that and like that. Okay, now I'm going to have to move these over here because they are going to be in my way. But if you've got a big table to your left, you'll be able to do this easily. So I'm now going to pick up this one, and I'm just going to take it to the machine, and I'm going to sew down this side. So I'm lining up those edges, and if you would like to, pop that down, if you would like to, what was I going to say? If you would like to make sure that you're, or put a pin, that's what I was going to say. If you make sure you put a pin in there if you'd like to. I'm just going to stitch all the way down from the top to the bottom. So 1/4 inch seam allowance again. So once I've stitched that first pair together, I'm now going to pick up my next pair down here, and I'm just going to, I haven't cut the thread, I'm just going to line that up again, like so, make sure it lines up, and I'm going to stitch down this edge. So I'm going to put that straight under the machine and carry on stitching. Okay, so I've carried on stitching there. I'm then going over to this one here, and I'm going to pick that one up and bring it over to the machine, line those up, and because we've trimmed them, they do fit perfectly. So again, I'm just going to put them straight under the machine and stitch down. I'm not cutting my thread, so then I'm going down to this one here, and I'm going to pick that up. And this way, because we're keeping them all together, it means there's no fear of turning it the wrong way, to the wrong direction, because it could quite easily do just that. Oh no, I've lost my, where are we? That one goes, oh, my things are pushing them out of the way. This one. Oops. Okay, so we had, oh goodness, 1, 2, 3. That goes there. That one goes in the middle. That one goes there. And oh, that one there. I'll have to find that in a moment. So just to see where that goes. So I'm just taking the next one from that first column, and again I'm going to carry on stitching there, and then we'll put the next one underneath and stitch on down, and I'm taking the very bottom one from that first column where I put them together and carry on stitching down there. Now once I've got to that bottom one there, I can actually cut those threads. So I've now got 6 in a row. So I can place that back where it came from. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, that's all right. No, I've lost one there. 1, 2, 3. What have I lost in there? Nope. Perhaps I've dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum. 1, 2. And that's the corner. Right. So what I'm going to do now, just have to do this as I go. We've got them all together. So we're going to open them out, and then I'm going to put the next column onto these. So I am going to move that over, and I'll move these over as well, because I'm going to pick up the next column that is going to sit on there. I must have dropped one on me down here. Okay, so I have all of my 6 pairs in a row. They can't possibly be the wrong way. So I'm going to pick up the next column, the top of, and take my square and place it. All the instructions will show this very easily, so that you know exactly, even though you probably can't see very, very well. So I've opened this one out, and I'm now going to take the next one from the 3rd column, place that right sides together, line that edge, and I can see that is, there we go. So make sure that's beautifully aligned, and 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then I'm going to take the next one here and align that down that side and stitch down. And then this one I haven't opened up yet, but I am going to. So open that up. We're going to take the next one and align that. I like to line it up at the bottom. You can line it up at the top, but I can see the bottom edge easier than the top. And we're now going to open the next one, and we can open the next one at the same time. But there's no way they can go the wrong way round. So I'm now going to take my next square and place that one right sides together. Align that edge there and straight down there. And then the bottom one here, whoops, no, not, that's dum-de-dum, no, that's that way, that's it. So that one is going like so. And just stitch down that edge too. I really needed a bigger table to my left. So now what you can see is I have 3 columns all stitched together. Can you see those like so? We'll go up to this top one here. So now I am going to go to this next column here, and I'm going to take this top one just there and bring it over to the top here, and then I'm going to place that right sides together as well. So that one is going right sides together like so. So I'm just going to move these over a bit so that I have got space. Now this is where, okay, so we'll just have to be careful when I come to that next row, because it looks as though I'm one missing that has gone somewhere. Okay, so there's our first one. I'm now going to take my next one, right sides together, so line up that bottom corner, line it up there, and then straight under. Then the next one here, straight under. And what we'll be able to see as I am stitching these we'll be able to see if one has gone out of place. So just open it up each time and put the next one on and line those up. Always lining that right hand edge. And then the next one is here. So what we're doing, we are putting the fourth column on. So just make sure that's aligned. And so you can put pins in it if you like to. But I find with the short seam, you can get away with just holding it down with your fingers. Okay, so let's just make sure that's lined up. And down we go. So once you've got to the bottom of a column, you are fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so we can perhaps look here just to see which one I am missing. So you can see those, there's the square in the middle there. There are our arrows pointing out, arrows pointing out. Now it's here. Oh, I've got one of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to have to stand up a minute because I've lost one of my blocks, haven't I? One of my squares. So that is going to go. Right, let's just see. Okay. Oh, goodness gracious me. Right, let's just carry on. Let's carry on here. So the top one is going on here. So there is my square, right sides together. And again, just carry on down. And then the next one, right sides together, line it up, carry on down, and the next one, let's see there, right side together, next one, it's just this very bottom one. That I need to find another square. So we have got that one open and that one open. So we want that to go in there. And this is number row 5. It's this bottom one here, isn't it? Right, what do we want there? We want one of those. So let me just have a look over here. I do believe, oh, there is my little square. I found it. Okay, so that little square is going to go in there. Is that one right? So that's there. No, I don't think it is actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just going to cut that thread off a minute just to check what should go there. Right, so, right, we have got these all, oh, well, that's that, and that's right, that's right. So this one, does this one want to go here? No, that wants to go in there. No, what I wanted that to be, dum-de-dum. Right, so this one wants to go in there, and that's there, that's there, that's there, that's there, that's there. But it's here. What do I need to go here? It is, no, that needed to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Da-de-da-de-da. Never mind, it doesn't matter. It is, there we are. So that's going to go like so. No, perhaps we'll have that there. And we'll have, whoops, not that, oh, there's 2 together there, that's why. So that should go there. No, I don't want that there. I'm going to have that there. Oh dear. It's because they fell on the floor. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to work this one again here, and that one is going on to there. So it's going in the right direction. I'm going to put that one just there. And stitch down there. So we will have one of them that is not all together, but once I've done the next row, they will. So now that I've got from here, I'm going to put my last row, which I put under the machine to the side here. I'm going to bring these over. So this one at the back here is going at the top. And I need a bigger sewing room, don't I? I need to have a huge table. So there is my first one. There is my second one. And what we're going to do when all of these are together is we are going to press them. So this one, oh, I didn't want that one there, did I? Okay, because it's very similar, but being batik, they are all slightly different. So then we're going to have this one here. So right sides together. And just two more to go. So this one here is going to have that one, like so. And then the very last one. And then we have got them. So if this were absolutely critical, because that is a slightly different fabric, you would be able to see that it was totally in the wrong place. So the direction is fine. It's just the colours are probably not in exactly the way that I wanted them to be. But hey ho, it's a scrappy little quilt there. So we have still a little bit big. So because we have 6 rows, it looks like a rectangle at the minute. So what we're going to do is we're going to press. So I'll get the iron in a moment. So this row, I'm going to press the seams together and in one direction. The next row, I'm going to press the seams in that direction. The next row in the opposite. This one in this. So I'm alternating the direction of the rows as they go. Yeah, they're all facing the right way though. So again, it would have been a good idea to have a large pressing mat, but what we're going to do is we are going to press. So this top row, I'm going to just hold it down and press, hold it down and press, hold it down, and then just move that a little bit like so. So press, make sure, or try not to press the other seams up that we've already pressed in our very first pressing session. So I'm going to miss that one out because I like to press in one way and I like to press to my left. So I'm going to go on to the third row now, and I'm just pulling that out and pressing, pulling that out and pressing. Whoops. That's it, just hold them up like so. And press this next one here. And press the next one and the next one. So that we have got alternating rows. So I'm going to miss out the next row. And I'm going to come onto the, what's the 5th row? So odd numbers, 1st, 3rd and 5th. So then I'm pressing the next row and the next row, sorry, and the next square and the next one. Don't press those up where they've been pressed the other way. Now, so that I can press in that same direction, I'm going to pull this all around, and I'm now going to be able to press the other alternate rows, the opposite ones, like so, and I'm pressing in the same direction, but it's alternate opposites. So there's one, and press over there. Now this is always, it's quite nice because it's small. It's nice to do it with a small iron, but also a good bit of steam also helps. So if you've got a small steam iron, could be really good. Okay, and press. So I'm not going to be going into completely finishing off the quilt. We're just doing the top tonight. What I will do on another occasion is to go through actually finishing off quilting, binding, in my usual way, and that usual way is exactly how the instructions are in PDF format that you will have downloaded before we finish tonight. So there we go. So we've got all of those pressed, and now when we turn it this way up, they are all joined together, and I can see they're all in the right position. So starting with this top row, because they're joined, I can just flap it down and my seams will nest. And you see how that's going that way and that's going that way. So just nest them together beautifully. If you want to put a pin at those intersections, it's a good idea because it means that you'll get the perfect intersection every time. For speed, I'm going to, we're still doing the 1/4 inch seam allowance, but I'm just going to nest them as I go. So they're all held together anyway. So we'll come up to that first one, and just as I get there, I'm going to pull this pin out. Okay, and then I'm going to look at this one here, and I can see, that's going that way, that is nesting. So I'm just going to press my finger down and hold that there. And then here, I've got one going one way and one going the other way. And I'm just pushing that together because I can see that is nesting as well. And then here, so this top seam is always coming this way. The underneath seam is going the other way. Now another little, let me just see if I can bring you in here, just here. Now, it's very hard to see, but here, where's my pin? Here, that's right, just here. Because it's white, it's hard to see, but the seams intersect, and where that point of intersection is, if you stitch, that's a 1/4 inch away. If you stitch through that point, you know you're not going to cut your points off. So let's just see if that, there we are. And then let's just do, so on this one, it won't happen at every intersection, but here I can see that same intersection, so that I can join that. I can stitch right through that, and then I'm just making sure this very end. Okay, so let's just have a look to see at this, how that, there we are. So can you see here that those points just come exactly where you want them to? And that one also, it's just, oops, there we are. So, whoops, that's in the wrong place. But all of those, the points have come together perfectly, just how we want it to. So the next thing to do is to flap all of that down. So we have onto the next row, and then the very first one, I like to nest that to know that's in exactly the right place. So we'll just pop that under, line the edge, and we will stitch. And I can see that next. Now, if you've never done this before, if you press it down, you can feel that when I say nest, it means the seams are coming together. Because one is going one way and one the other, it gives you those perfect intersections. So I'm just feeling that one as well, and just press down on it, and they just meet, and it just works. So on these ones I can't see, so that one's coming that way, I can't see where those intersections are. So what I'm trusting is that my 1/4 inch seam allowance was the same the whole way across. So 3 more rows to go. So let's just open that out. Oh, that's not bad either. Very good. So let's just go back a little bit there. And now, if we turn it around this way, we're going to fold. Oh, goodness. So we've got those 3 rows done. So now we're going to fold the next row over, and we're going to do exactly the same again, and they just flop together. They just join. So we'll put that under the machine as well, and we'll stitch across here. We are doing pretty well, pretty well. So this top seam this time is coming towards me. I'm just making sure, so I get past there, just making sure that nests, and yeah, I can feel that nesting. And then at the next one, so one going forwards, one going backwards, and stitch across there. And then this one, that one's going backwards, and I'm feeling that with my fingers. And this one too, so carry on there, and that's nesting too. Now this one I can see, I could just see there, that point of intersection, so I can just make sure I stitch through that. And what we could do actually, whether we've just got these 2 more to do, so I'll start from the other way, it doesn't really matter, and flip that one over because we're working with 2 seams. So again, you can see that that one's going that way, that's going the opposite way. So just push those down together and match them. So I keep lifting the foot up there. So the top seam on this occasion is coming towards me, and the bottom seam is going away from me. So I'm just making sure they just butt up together. It is a case for anybody who's never done this before, it's a case of give it a go, and you'll understand exactly what I mean when you feel them butting up. One won't move because they're going in different directions. One seam is not going to move past the other. So that one's in there. And there's the intersection as well. And I can see it again on this one. And then the last one. So each time the block, the 2 squares should join nicely at the end. So let's just see how that, yep, that's going nicely too. So then the very last one is here, that's not joined. So we'll flip that over and nest that one under the machine. And the very last thing we'll do is press it all. And I must admit, I like to press with a bit of steam once it's all together. So yeah, that's nesting there. So I'm on the last ones, and then you can all give it a go yourselves. If you've got your half square triangle rulers, have a nice little play. It really does make life more straightforward, more pleasurable, because, don't let the seams push up, because you know they are giving you perfect points all the time. Okay, so that's my very last little bit. So I'm still lining up those edges all the time. Okay, so we've popped it all together. And yeah, it is okay. So let's just get this iron on. What I might do is I might use the back of my, yeah, as a pressing mat. Not the best idea to use as a pressing mat, but so what I would do now is just to press all these seams. Now some of them, these to me want to go this way and those want to go that way. I suppose it's the way I stitch them, but what I'm going to do now is I like to pull at one edge. So let's just do these ones first. So I'm just pulling away. Might just put that under. That's it, that will hold that in place. That's better. So pull away from where you're pressing, like so. And then it just makes it a little bit taut. And then I'm just going to press these ones away as well. As I say, I really, for my final press, I like to use a steam iron. So these ones are fine. So we'll push this one. No, I think that one wants to go the other way. So this one, it doesn't matter which way these go on our final pressing at all. So we'll just press those down and press that down. And then I think this one here. And then we can press from the front as well. So you can see me pulling this just to make sure we're not actually pressing a pleat into the front of our topper of our little mini quilt. Okay, so that's not too bad for the first, and then flip it over, and then you can actually, just by pressing over all of it, just press from the inside to the outside, and then that will open up any areas where you just might have pressed a little pleat in there. So I'm just going to flip that around again so that I can go that way. We are. Oh, it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good, even though I lost some of the blocks, and there. So there we are. There we are. So let's just take that out of the way. I probably flattened that all. Not that it was quilted particularly. So, I don't know what. So there we are. Yeah. So it is quite. So you can see from here what I was working out. We have the square in the centre. Okay. And actually the colours do look really lovely, don't they? Just going to take this down a minute and see if we can, whoops, pop this up here. Let's just take this down as well. And then I can just sort of point to this. There's one. Pin. There's a pin. Okay. So, oh, I can see a glaringly obvious. Oops, no, that's not good. Okay. So, basically start having your half square triangles going into the centre to give you that square on point. And then we have our flying geese going out. Flying geese. And so from each, see that isn't, oh, not pleased with that. There's a little jump there, but hey-ho. So this, the arrows are going out from there, and then in the corners, all of them, they're like little fish going inwards. So the 4 in the corner come in, into the centre, point to the centre, and point to the centre there. So really, yeah, I tell you what, this one I should have wanted here. Can you see how I've got 1, 2, 3? That, no, because I wouldn't have wanted that there. So, hey, it really doesn't matter, I don't suppose. The overall effect is there. So don't beat yourselves up about it, please, because, whoops, have to concentrate. Good for the brain, it is, not the aged brain. So let's just have a look, see. Oops, I don't want me that way, do I? Let's have me this way. Right, when are the rulers coming back in? The rulers will be on Create and Craft. I have got some more on Create and Craft a week on Thursday. These will be slightly different. They're slightly smaller, just by 1 inch. So the new ones will go up to 5.5 as opposed to 6.5. So I may have some of those beforehand. I'm waiting for them to come through. I have worked very hard at that, haven't I? Yes. Oh, good, Janet. That's lovely. Any tips on cutting 5 and 5.5 in half square triangles with the rulers, please? My 45mm wouldn't fit in the dog ear grooves, and I didn't. 28mm didn't. Yeah. What I would say, Nikki, your 28mm should cut them, and your 45mm should as well. With your 45mm, what you'll need to do is go from the outside inwards. As I say, I like to go from the inside outwards, but with your 45mm or your 28mm, just cut inwards. You won't cut too far because, you know, there's an end to it. So just cut from the outside inwards to cut your slots off. And I'd say if your 28mm wouldn't do it, you need some new blades, I'm afraid. Mine's lasted really, really well. But 5 and 5.5. Yeah, they should all work the same. Right. Let's see. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Was there any more questions? Yeah, I've got so many batiks, and I just thought it's about time I used a few batiks. I'll bring some to you after I've done the shows, and what, you know, if I've got some left, we'll bring some to you in a Thrifty Thursday. Now, all of you saying, Trisha, you're so clever. No, 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 no. No. I am showing you what you can do too. And I guarantee, well, I know Jill's already made one. Brilliant. Somebody else did as well. Was it Jane? I think there was a Summer Breeze one, and then Jill's one as well. So within the week, I bet I see lots of them. Now, what I would ask, could you please pop them in the So Trisha Sews inspiration group? So Trisha Sews, rather than this group here. You know, we've allowed it for a little while, but it does clog up the feed. So when somebody's looking for something, there's lots and lots of different pictures. If you pop them in the So Trisha Sews, all of you are in that group as well, so we can all see what's going on there, which would be really lovely. And I can't wait to see them. Now, I can smell my dinner, but the code finished it. Yeah, it was until, oh, I see. Yeah, the code will finish tonight, but they've actually sold out, I'm afraid. I haven't got any more of that one. I did have a lot, and I did put up the other day, I think I'd only got 8 left. And so I'm afraid that was it, until the new ones come in. Will all the mini quilts, no, Joanna. Well, as you saw, that's a 12 by 12, and this one is a 12 by 12, but they are, oh, mind you, this isn't, no, I'm not giving myself a hard time on making sure they're all 12 by 12. If I said they'd all got to be 12 by 12, that's going to give me a lot of work, of headache, thinking, oh, it just happens that these two are 12 by 12. So that's the one we've just done. That one works out to 12 by 12. But that is a mini quilt, but this is about 12 by 18. So they will be different sizes, I'm afraid, because it's good to have a bit of a variety, is what I think. Who needs to work on my brave to try this? Oh, of course you can, Michelle. You can. Doing really, really well. You did your jewel box. Lovely. Mine isn't perfect, as I said. I've got a little bit out there. As a complete beginner to it all, everything won't be perfect, absolutely perfect every time. Even when we've been stitching for years and years, it's still not perfect every time. So please don't worry. Just soldier on, because it looks lovely. And the more you do, the better you'll get. And, you know, there's got to be something that isn't perfect, because nothing is perfect in life. You must realise that, and I'm sure you do. Yeah, well, I tell you what you could do, Joanna. You could adapt them when they're different sizes. You could adapt them and add sashing in between. So just to even it all up. But for the time being, the mini quilts will come out whatever size they want. But I mean, when we've got all the mini quilts done, I can always talk about how you can add bits here and bits there. But they will be whatever size. I don't know what we're doing next month yet. You know me. But one day I'll have them all done for the year. But it's nice to do them fairly quickly beforehand, because I can remember everything that I did and everything I did wrong. So, what do people use them for when they're made? Whatever you like, really. They could be a nice little a place. I'll do one with a curved edge at some time. They could be a big a plant pot under, you know, a centerpiece. You could frame them, put them on the wall, make it into a wall hanging. Could be a little doll's quilt, if you like, if you've got granddaughters or little children. No, it's not available yet, Glynis. I won't be able to pop it on until I've done Create and Craft. And I haven't done the instructions yet either. Oops. Maybe we could have left... yes, absolutely so. Fab idea. Okay. And Caroline used them to display in your sewing room. Yeah, to have a wall of mini quilts would be fantastic. Lovely, Ellen. Lovely. And I hope you're doing okay. Right, I am going to love you and leave you, because my dinner is calling. Tomorrow is Wednesday, so I shan't see you on Wednesday unless you're coming to Sewing Club. It's just a sit and sew tomorrow, so we can have a good old chat over our cups of tea, coffee and cake. Thursday, ooh, I said I'd do a Thrifty Thursday fabric sale, so we'll have a little bit on Thrifty Thursday, because there's just there's a few website orders from yesterday, I think, which I need to get out, but we'll do those. Otherwise, everything's up to date. So leave that with me. I'll decide what we're doing on Friday, and all I can say is enjoy the rest of your evening. Put your feet up, have a cuppa if you've had your dinner already, and I'll see you on Thursday. Bye for now.